Queen Anne's lace? Wattle leaves? Willow leaves? Pomegranate? Pennyroyal? Date, palms, Arabic gum, and my personal favorite, crocodile shit! What do all these have in common? Well, the guys are going, huh? The girls are going, I know where he's going. Just check out that snazzy new background I did. Yep, these are all the ways, one of many, several of many ways that women in the ancient world practiced birth control. And now in the state of Louisiana, they no longer have control of their wombs. Yes, the state of Louisiana, just like all those heartbeat bills, about 12 or 15 of them across the country, what is it with evangelicals and wanting to control women's wombs? Say that 5 times fast. Control women's wombs, control women's wombs, because they are, right? And the state of Louisiana, they passed a new law which does this little fancy trick and forces doctors to get admitting privileges at nearby hospitals, right? But which means that they'll just not, if they want to offer abortions, and of course they say, oh, it's only for the world, just looking out for the health of the women, right? When in fact it's just a snazzy little trick to drop the number of clinics from, well, it was something like 11 in 2001, and now it's down to 5 or 3, depending on who's counting, and it'll probably drop it to just one for the entire state of Louisiana. And that's what they're thinking, spread across. If it works for Louisiana, it can work for Texas, it can work for Mississippi, it can work for Georgia, it can work for South Carolina, Tennessee. It's just like all those states across the deep South, Alabama, 1 clinic each. Maybe only 1 clinic at all. After all, North Dakota's got that, right? Yeah. What is it with them? What is it with these evangelicals? And why are they doing this? Well, they're led by the new breed of evangelicals. It all started with Ralph Reed, right? One of the 4 horsemen of the new apocalypse. His vision of once again Christians, this country will be governed by Christians, as if that's a good thing. And then we have, and he's the rational one. We have Tony Perkins, right? Head of the Faith and Freedom the Family Research Council. And he's what does he say? He says that the only thing in the middle of the road is yellow stripes and dead animals, right? Clearly, a man you want is interested in compromise when it comes to controlling a woman's womb. And then we have Billy Graham III, or as he likes to style himself, Franklin Graham. Man who said, right. Remember Tony Perkins, how he said that we're giving Trump a mulligan on Stormy Daniels? So does Billy Graham III. Yeah, he gives him a mulligan on Stormy Daniels. Doesn't matter. And Brett Kavanaugh, the serial assaulter and liar before Congress? Oh, that happened 40 years ago. It doesn't really matter. Hey, Billy, what does your daughter Jane think about that, huh? Would you let her be in a room behind a closed door with Brett Kavanaugh for an hour? I think not. And then we have Jerry Falwell Jr. following in the footsteps of his father as he runs Liberty University. And he says he's just honestly impressed with how Trump treats others, which makes me want to tell every young Christian that I meet, particularly that if she's got a vagina, go to Liberty U, because you'll be treated very well there. Yes. Why do they give Trump a mulligan? These are some of the same voices that were screaming for Bill Clinton's blood 20 years ago. My, how times changed, because he got a handful of blowjobs in the office. As if the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, would turn a girl down if she offered them a blowjob in the Oval Office. I know I'd be thinking seriously about it. Anyway, yes, it all has to do with SCOTUS, right? Judges, they want Roe versus Wade. Now, I know it's been settled law of the land for 70 years, but they really got to be in their bonnet about it. And now that they've got their bad boy Brett on the court, they think that if they put a test case like this, or a test case in Ohio, or a test case someplace else, and work it up to the Supreme Court, they can finally overturn Roe versus Wade. And that new New York law, which basically codifies at the state level what Roe versus Wade already says at the federal level, just drives them absolutely insane. Yes. So, will it happen? I think not. I think that Chief Justice John Roberts is thinking a lot more about Roger Taney than he is about Planned Parenthood or Roe versus Wade. You remember Taney? Of course, he's dinner table conversation, right? The most vilified Chief Justice in the United States, who authored the Dred Scott decision in 1857, something like that. Right. Where he said basically blacks have no federal standing to sue in federal court, which is a gentle legalese way of saying you ain't got no rights if you're black. And he is hated for it, vilified for it at least. John Roberts does not want to be that in history. So what is it with evangelicals? Why do they want your sex so much? Abortions are dropping right across the nation, year by year. Is it something else? I mean, they say they just want to prevent unplanned pregnancies. If that's the case, then why do they make the pill so difficult to find, to get to? I mean, you can get chewing gum in this country more easily than you can get the pill, and chewing gum gives you tooth decay. You can get chewing tobacco, which gives you cancer of the mouth more easily than you can get the pill. You can even get beef jerky with its carbon footprint, drowning this world in carbon dioxide, more easily than you can get the pill. What is that? Is it something to do with sex? Sex. Why do they want your womb? Why do they want your sex so badly? Do they have a problem with us all being bags of pus? You know, that's what humans are, with our own internal scaffolding keeping us upright. Are they afraid of goo? No, I think it's control. I think they grew up watching their great-granddaddies, their granddaddies, and their dads order women around like their servants. And they want to do the same. They think they should be able to tell you what you can do with your womb. How is this going to play out? Well, we can either start shoving crocodile shit up our vaginas, or maybe it's time for the ladies to speak out on this one. After all, Eleanor Roosevelt used to say, "No one can oppress you without your approval." How about it, ladies? Time to speak up?